There are 6 different types of women trying to find their personal style. So if you right now in this very moment are trying to figure out like what your fashion sense is, like what makes you feel the most beautiful, like what would look the best on you, I can guarantee you that you have experienced and embodied at least one, if not all 6 of these different archetypes. So in today's video, we are going to go through all 6 of them, what each of them wants, what their issues are, and what their excuses are, and finally, how each individual archetype can fix their specific nuanced problems. Obviously, the overarching problem is I want my personal style. I want to feel fashionable and like confident and pretty or cool or edgy all the time. That's the overarching problem, but each one of these 6 archetypes has a hidden secret problem underneath that big overarching problem. And being able to fix and solve that problem and realize all of the things that you personally are doing to perpetuate it is really going to help you along your journey of becoming fashionable and beautiful. So hello, if you're new here, my name is Kiana Nakala, and I teach women how to find their personal styles. But this is a video that I've literally never done before. And when I came up with these 6 archetypes, I was like, oh my God, like the girls on my YouTube channel literally need to hear this. Like, even if you've never seen me before, I can guarantee you, if you've clicked on this video, there is something in here that you were meant to hear. So stick with me. I have my notes. Let me get them. I have my notes. I have everything laid out for you. This is going to be a very clear and concise video. And I'm so excited to share these with you because I'm telling you, like, you have experienced one of these, at least one, if not all 6. So these are in order of how I think most women probably go through them, but maybe you don't experience all of them. Maybe you've experienced all of them, but in your own crazy order. That's perfectly fine. Don't let the order stop you from being able to absorb and benefit from this video. And obviously, if you're not a woman, just replace the word woman with your preferred pronouns and you're good to go. So archetype number 1. This one is the shlubby woman. And what do I mean by shlubby? Sloppy, messy, doesn't really care at all, or so you think. Let me paint a picture for you. The shlubby woman, the sloppy woman, she lives in sweatpants and baggy t-shirts, sweatshirts and Crocs and sneakers and whatever she can find, she just throws it on, calls it a day. That is what she lives in all day, every day. And I want to preface this and give a little disclaimer that if this is you right now, but you feel beautiful and confident and like the best version of yourself wearing this, you are not the schlubby woman, okay? It's all about your internal perception of yourself. So if you're listening to this and getting kind of offended because you wear that stuff and it makes you feel amazing, I'm not talking to you. This is for the people who are wearing this type of stuff and there's some little part of them, even if it's just a little tiny part, that desires more. So the schlubby woman, what does she want? She wants to feel put together. She has a little desire in her heart where she's just like, I just feel like I just want to be a little bit more presentable. But her issue, stopping her from being presentable, is worthiness. She has a worthiness block within her. She thinks, I don't feel like I'm worthy of spending time on myself. Like, is it conceited to care about my appearance? She kind of puts herself down for even having the slight desire for wanting more. And her excuse, because all 6 of these archetypes have an excuse, her excuse for letting her unworthiness complex run her entire fashion sense in her life is time. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, there's not enough time in a day. Oh, I couldn't possibly spend more time on myself. How could I manage? Like, isn't that so crazy to like spend extra time to make yourself feel good? Like, no, I don't have the time for that. I don't have time. And this excuse is so interesting and so tricky because, as you guys know, and as we know, time is not linear. Time is very malleable. I'm sure you've experienced like 1 hour can feel like 5 hours and 1 hour can also feel like 5 minutes. So time is very sensitive and very fluid, and it molds itself based on your perception of it. So if you're constantly saying, I don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the day. How could you possibly expect your reality to reflect something different than that? You just can't. It makes no sense. And so her fix to solve all of her problems, her solution is working on and rewiring all of her limiting beliefs. Now, if you are in the inner work space, in the inner work community, I'm sure you've heard the term limiting beliefs a million times, but for the people who don't know, I'm going to briefly explain what a limiting belief is. All beliefs are essentially limiting. There's a couple universal truths, like gravity is a universal truth, death is a universal truth, but basically everything else under the sun is a limiting belief. And basically what I mean by that is all beliefs are limiting in some sense. So you could have a limiting belief of, I have all the time in the world, when in reality, like, no, you don't. Like, one day you're gonna die. So it's technically a limiting belief, but that belief, even though it is limiting, is still more beneficial to you than I have no time. If you are constantly running this program, this belief system in your brain that I have no time, you're working against the clock, you're working against yourself. But if your belief is I have all the time in the world, although it's still limiting, it opens up your possibilities. It opens up your potential. Why beliefs are so important to like check up on and make sure they're like aligned with what you want is because your beliefs are basically from your thoughts, and your thoughts train your behaviors, and your behaviors change what you do, like your action, and your action changes your reality. So it really all starts in here, because if you think something bad up here, you're probably going to end up doing something that aligns with that, and it's going to create a reality that you don't really want to live. So a quick little recap. Shlubby woman, she wants to feel put together. What is her issue? Worthiness. She doesn't feel worthy. What is her excuse? Oh, I don't have time. And what is her fix? Going through and working through all of her limiting beliefs. And I also have a little, well, it's a pretty big masterclass on YouTube all about limiting beliefs and the science behind them. So if you're interested in learning more about the concept of limiting beliefs and learning more about like the neuroscience that backs this concept, then click this little thing up here. I'll also put it in the description. Okay, on to archetype number 2. This one is one of my favorite ones because this is like, I don't know, you'll see. So archetype number 2 is the curious woman. What does she want? She wants to learn more. So if you think about it in like a timeline, so let's say you started off wearing sweatpants and whatever. Then as you are starting to work through those limiting beliefs, you start to get really curious. You're like, oh my gosh, what other beliefs do I have? What else is blocking me from living my best life? What else is blocking me from being able to pick out an outfit that makes me feel beautiful? So she's curious. She wants to learn more. She is like in information mode, which is perfectly okay. But what is her issue? She is so caught up in her head. She is just stuck in thoughts and she lacks action. So she's doing all of the research. She's working through all of her limiting beliefs, but she's not actually moving. She's not actually trying to style herself differently. And her excuse, this is a sneaky one, you guys, because, and I'm sure we've all said this before, I'm still figuring it out. No, like I'm learning, like I'm still learning. So like, I don't need to take action or move or do anything because like I'm in learning mode. I just need to learn more. It's sneaky because although learning is extremely beneficial, everyone should be constantly learning. You have to move to see some sort of change in your fashion sense and in your life in general. Like you can't be wearing sweatpants, work through your limiting beliefs, think about wearing something better, and then still wear sweatpants. Like you can't expect something to magically change. Like you actually have to do something. And so her fix, super easy. Just move. Just do something, whether it's like the smallest, simplest thing. And you might be thinking, okay, Kiana, well, there is this specific type of style that I really like, but I don't have anything to do it. So are you saying that like I need to like buy something new? No. For example, for this outfit, let's say I was embodying the curious woman right now, and I want to learn more, but I need to take action. I want to feel like a cottagecore fairy princess. I don't have any dresses that I like. I don't have anything that fits the style, but you know what I do have? String. So what do? I tie some string around my hair, put it in some 2 braids, and that is enough movement to actually start the, what's the word? the momentum, okay? You want to do something. You don't have to go buy a whole new wardrobe. You just have to move a little bit to get yourself out of analysis paralysis. The reason why I said this is kind of like my favorite one is because if you are embodying any of these other 5 archetypes and you're struggling and you're stuck, if you can shift yourself into the curious woman's mindset and you can just be into learning more, I think it's the easiest one to shift. Shifting your limiting beliefs is kind of hard because they're so hardwired into you, but just taking like the smallest amount of action is pretty easy. So if you can, if you're stuck in the shlubby woman right now, shift yourself into the curious woman and go from there. Archetype number 3 is the insecure woman. And although this seems like, isn't this the same thing as the shlubby woman? No, there are some very small but very important key differences between the two. So the insecure woman, what does she want? She wants to feel beautiful. And her issue, like the shlubby woman, is worthiness, but it shows up in a different way. Instead of thinking, I'm not worthy of putting in the extra time, like, I just don't feel like, what's the point? Her worthiness is so much more rooted in like self-hatred. She's like, I'm not worthy of feeling beautiful. I'm not worthy of taking care of myself. Like, it's not... like, I'm not worthy. It's like a me thing. It's not like, oh, I don't have time. It's like, no, I'm ugly. I don't deserve to feel beautiful. That is her issue, and it's also her excuse. So her excuse for not putting in the actionable steps towards actually trying to make herself feel better and more beautiful, her excuse is, I'm too ugly. I'm too insecure. And insecurity is such a real thing, and I don't want you to think that I'm like calling you out in a negative way, but I am calling you out in the sense that no one's gonna come make you feel beautiful. You have to feel beautiful first. You can't sit there and say, I'm too ugly, like nothing looks good on me, and at the same time, like not try to solve the problem. And I don't know if like I'm crazy for saying that. I feel like I'm a very solution-oriented person. So if I start to feel ugly, if I start to feel insecure, I'm like, okay, what do I need to change? Do I need to change my hair? Do I need to work out more? Do I need to eat better? Do I need to switch up the way I do my makeup? But when you're so caught up in that insecure woman consciousness, it's like everything, like you can't even do anything. You're just like, no, I'm ugly, so I don't have to do anything. I don't feel pretty, so I guess I don't have to put in any effort. Come on now. Like, come on. Just do something to make yourself feel more beautiful. And her fix, like the shlubby woman, is working on her limiting beliefs. So this would be changing her thoughts from I'm ugly to there are some things that I like to change about myself, but I'm still beautiful. I love myself now, and I also want to change. Number 4. This one is another really, really sneaky one, just like the curious woman. This is the presentable woman. And what does she want? She wants to feel alive. So let me paint you a picture once again. This woman dresses relatively nice. She's presentable. She looks good on the surface, but she just doesn't really feel connected to her body. She doesn't really feel connected to her style. So although she is presentable, like she's wearing all the right things, something just doesn't feel right about it. Like it just doesn't really fully align with who she wants to be. Her biggest issue is that she doesn't trust her intuition. So because she looks good on the surface, it's really easy to use the excuse of, well, I already look good. Why should I change anything? But you're leaving all of this gold unmined because you can't listen inward to your body. It's like you're actively avoiding what you really want inside. So the next time, if you're the presentable woman, the next time you feel something inside of you say, I mean, I look nice, but I feel like I could look even better. Like I feel like there's a style that's even more aligned with who I am. Listen to that gut feeling, and that is the presentable woman's fix. Practicing her intuition in small, actionable steps. So let's say this is me, the presentable woman. I put on this dress. I look great, don't really feel aligned with it though. And then something in me says, maybe you should add a belt. Or maybe it's like, you know, I don't want to wear blue anymore. Instead of like the presentable woman usually would say, no, like this looks good, let's just stick with this. Listen to that gut intuition feeling and say, okay, Don't want to wear blue? Let me throw on a pink dress that looks similar. Practice listening to your intuition on a smaller scale, and it'll help you down the line with bigger things. So maybe that's even too big to start. Maybe it's like, I look good, but I don't think these earrings are right for this. Like, I just feel like I could have better earrings with this outfit. Instead of just settling and saying, well, no, it looks good. Like, just let me just like stop complaining. This is good enough. Listen to that and go, okay, something in me wants to change my earrings. Let me just change them. That's all it takes. So the presentable woman wants to feel alive. Her issue is she doesn't trust her intuition, and her excuse is, I look nice, why change? Her fix, listening inward, like actually listening to herself. Okay, we only have 2 archetypes left. The 5th one, what are we on, 5? The 5th archetype is the aesthetically overwhelmed. So you could also look at this and like she's in Pinterest paralysis mode. She's made millions of Pinterest boards. She saves everything to the boards. She's constantly looking up new styles. There's cottagecore, there's coquette, there's femme fatale, there's classy, there's sporty, there's edgy, and it's all in her brain, and she's freaking out because she doesn't know what to do. Hence the Pinterest paralysis. So what does she want? What does the aesthetically overwhelmed woman want? She just wants direction. She's pulled in so many different directions right now. She doesn't even know where to start because she kind of likes everything. She just needs direction. And what is her issue? Her issue is information overload, and her excuse is there's too many options, which is so funny because most people, their excuse is, well, I don't have anything to wear. And she actually finds a way to create the opposite problem. Maybe she has millions of things in her closet, all types of different styles, and she's like, there's too many choices, I have nothing to wear. Like, I want these 2 people to meet and like just see them battle for who is the bigger victim. So the main fix here is just regulation, regulating her nervous system. So taking a few deep breaths will do this woman wonders. It sounds corny, but like genuinely taking deep breaths, doing the ones where it's like you inhale for 4, hold for 6, and exhale for 8, I believe. Doing that 3 times in a row, suddenly she will, by bypassing her brain, she will drop back into her body and be able to feel into which one she actually wants to wear. It is really hard once you're so caught up in your head and information overload to even think that there is a possibility to not be feeling that way, but just a few deep breaths will literally just change everything. Also, I forgot to say this, another one of her issues, so she has information overload and a freeze response. So instead of saying, oh my god, I have so much information, I just need to move. No, she's like, I have so much information, I need to stop and do nothing. So she also needs to like take that inspired action after she regulates her nervous system a little bit. That brings us to the perfect embodied woman. Not perfect, just the embodied woman. So this is the perfect blend of listening to her intuition, trusting her gut, and also using her logic to discern like what can I actually wear right now and what would make me feel the most beautiful. She knows that she doesn't have endless time to pick out her outfit, but she also isn't stressed out by her time constraints. She just casually, regulatedly picks out what she wants to wear, and if she doesn't like it, she'll just change it and it'll make her feel beautiful. So the embodied woman, she listens to her gut and adjusts her approach accordingly. Basically what I just explained. Depending on what she has going on that day, maybe she'll end up packing a separate outfit in the car. Maybe she'll say, I really like this dress that I'm wearing, but I know I'm going to be walking a lot. So although I do really want to wear some heels, I think I will pack some sneakers, or I think I'll wear sneakers or some nice flats instead. That will make me feel just as beautiful, but also make me feel comfortable. Or maybe that's not the case. Maybe she's going out to dinner. She's wearing a beautiful dress and she realizes, oh, I'm wearing this, but like, honestly, I'm not really feeling it anymore. So what does she do? Okay, I'll change my outfit. And it takes her just a couple minutes. She changes and she's ready and feeling beautiful once again. Regulated and the perfect balance of head and heart. Yes, the embodied woman listens to her gut and adjusts her approach. Her issue is that she occasionally embodies other archetypes, and she doesn't have any excuses though. So when she feels herself stepping into the shlubby woman persona, or she feels herself starting to embody the aesthetically overwhelmed, she doesn't make any excuses. She's just like, oh, like I see I'm stepping into this other consciousness. Let me just like shift out of that. So maybe she's feeling overwhelmed. You're like, no, let me just take a couple deep breaths, bring me back to reality. I get to feel beautiful. It's okay. Maybe she starts feeling insecure. Instead of going, oh my God, I guess I'll just never wear anything pretty again. She's like, oh, I know I'm feeling insecure, so I must not be putting in as much effort in my physical health. Maybe I need to be working out more. Maybe I just need to do my makeup a little differently. She just adjusts her approach accordingly. It's really simple. Okay, guys, I got cut off, but hopefully it didn't mess up what I was saying. Let me get back in the zone. Just wanted to make sure I got everything that I wrote on my notes. So her issue, she occasionally embodies other archetypes. Her excuse, she doesn't have any. And when it comes up, she works through it and she can spot her limiting beliefs from a mile away. So if she feels herself creeping back into that insecure energy, she sees the limiting belief and she works through it on the spot and then goes on living her best life. So we are going to recap. I'm just going to read directly off of my notes, and as I'm reading this, tap into your body and like really feel into which one you currently feel like you're embodying, or maybe it's a combination of the two, and drop that down in the comments because I want to know where you guys are. So the shlubby woman, she wants to feel put together. Her issue is worthiness. Her excuse is time, and her fix is fixing her limiting beliefs. The curious woman wants to learn more. Her issue is she's stuck in thought and she lacks action. And her excuse is, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out. And her fix is to just move. The insecure woman wants to feel beautiful. Her issue is worthiness, and her excuse is her insecurity, like I'm too ugly, so I can't do anything. And her fix is, again, working through those limiting beliefs. Then we have the presentable woman who wants to feel alive. Her issue is she doesn't trust her intuition. Her excuse is, I look nice, why change? And her fix is practicing using her intuition with small little shifts. Then we have the aesthetically overwhelmed, Pinterest paralysis woman. She wants direction, and her issue is information overload combined with a freeze response. Her excuse is there's too many options, and her fix is regulation and small, simple action. And then finally, the embodied woman listens to her gut and adjusts her approach. Her issue is she occasionally embodies other archetypes, but she doesn't have any excuses because when it comes up, she works through it on the spot. If you are currently embodying any of these archetypes, I invite you into my personal style and confidence discovery and mastery course called Soul Aligned Style. Every single issue and excuse and fix that I listed in this video, it is all covered in my course. It is 8 chapters long, and it literally builds your self-confidence from the ground up. It builds your dream sense of style from the ground up. It works through all of your limiting beliefs, teaches you how to work with your intuition, and how to embody the best version of yourself through fashion every single day. But if you are not ready to invest in the full, complete transformation, which, by the way, is available for lifetime. So once you buy it, your transformation has no deadline. You get all of the lessons all at once, and it will stay with you until you die, essentially. But if you are not ready to invest in that, then I also have a $30 ebook called Kiana's Color Guide, Color Magic for Style, which introduces you to the concept of tapping into your intuition. And it has a fail-proof color guide, color combinations that always work, a neutral color guide, how to pair neutrals with this, seasonal color guide. It has like everything. It's like 60 pages long. I worked so hard on it and I love the way it came out. So you can check those out in my bio or in the description. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Also, if there's any video that you want to see from me, please let me know. Please drop it in the comments down below. I love talking to you. Also, I do want to go live again. I went live pretty recently and you guys really liked that, and I would love to do that again. So please let me know if there are any topics you want me to cover live. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, beautiful. You're so beautiful, so stunning, and I love you.